Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you from gloomy North Carolina. Well, Appalachian Trail through hiker bubble is in full swing and heading north. I've been off the trail now for about a month, and it's high time I got back on the trail myself. Where am I going? Great question. Glad you asked. To see where I'm going and how I put together the logistics of a section hike, stick around. Logistics? What type of logistics do you have to have for an Appalachian Trail section hike? Well, there's some people who don't have to have any logistics at all. They just go and park at a trailhead and go. Me, I've got to have a little more organization than that. You know, hike your own hike, all that neat stuff. So, what I've got to do is figure out first where I'm going. Then when I figure that out, I got to figure out how I'm going to get to the trailhead and how I'm going to get picked up at the end of my hike. Or I've got to get my vehicle to the end of my hike and then figure out how to get to the trailhead where I'm starting. So those are some of the logistics that really don't have anything to do with the actual hike itself. You know, that doesn't have anything to do with the gear I'm taking or food I'm taking or anything like that. So let's take a look at some things that you can do to find shuttles and decide how you're going to get from one point to the next. So in my case, I'm going to be going by myself unless things change between now and when I leave. And I'm leaving sometime probably the third weekend in April. So what I've decided to do is I've got to get my truck to the end of my section hike so that it can be there waiting on me when I get done and I can come on home. And once I find that parking spot, then I've got to get a shuttle back to the trailhead or the start of my hike. So there's a couple ways we can do that. There's a couple resources we have. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy, otherwise known as the ATC, they used to publish a list of all the shuttles that would up and down the trail from Georgia to Maine that would get you where you needed to go. Unfortunately, they no longer publish that. They do give you a link to a White Blaze forum where you can find that information. I can only venture to guess, due to liability, is why they don't publish that anymore. So I'll put some of those links down here in the description where you can find those links to find those shuttle services and other links also that will be helpful for you in finding shuttles. Another places that you're going to find it is that White Blaze forum. So this is the White Blaze Net forum where you can go to. This is actually the PC version, the computer version. They also have a mobile version, and you can go and start yourself a register as a user, and then you'll have full access to all of the forums and where you can post and everything. And then this here is actually the forum for trailheads and shuttles. So it's got lots of different forums, but this is the one we're talking about for our video. And here you can go and look up shuttles in different areas, but you can also go and post where you need a shuttle from, and you're guaranteed to get feedback from other people, and more than likely you'll get feedback from actual shuttle providers. And then they can send you a private message through this app or through another app and can give you a price on it. This is another site. This is Acorn Trail Guide, and this has a shuttle list on it with contact information, and you can go to it and get the information as well. It's in one place. It stays fairly up to date, and this is another good use. This is a screenshot from a Guthook's app. If you can go to the Neal's Gap in this case, but wherever the trailhead is, and a lot of times you'll get people commenting on the app itself about different shuttle services or what have you. In this case, they actually gave you the comments included the shuttle service as well as the telephone numbers for them. Another source for shuttles is the AWOL guide. And in that, at the different trailheads and different places there at different towns, you'll have listings for pretty much everything that you need to know as far as hostels, grocery, resupply, all that. But more importantly, for our purposes today, is you'll have the contact information for shuttles. So in this case right here, he's got it noted with the little thing that looks like a front end of a bus. That means you can contact those people for shuttle services. So in some cases, it actually, depending on where you are on the trail and where you are in the guide, it actually has a whole section there devoted just to the shuttles for that particular area. So that's another place you can use as a resource if you purchase the AWOL guide. Okay, so one other app that's available on your smartphone is the actual phone app, using the phone for a phone instead of everything else. So I looked up Mountain Crossings, and I gave Mountain Crossings a call, which is the outfitter there at Neal's Gap. And they were able to give me several names of several close by shuttle drivers. And I called the person I called. And it was Brett, and he was $65 per vehicle. So what that means is if I took two of us, then we'd be splitting it two ways. So it's not $65 a head. It was $65 for the whole trip for whoever we could take with us. I also had made a posting on the White Blaze forum and got several people responded back to me, and their rates were $80. So don't know any of them. Don't know Brett. So I'm basing it solely on what on the rate. However, there was plenty of places where you could go and probably could post something in on the White Blaze forum and find out what people's reviews were of Brett or anybody else for that matter. So in this case, I'm just going with Brett, and we'll let you know how that turns out. So that's about it for this week. That's how I'm putting together the logistics of how I'm going to get from Neal's Gap, where I'm parking my vehicle, down to Springer Mountain to start my hike. I'll let you know how all that turned out. Till next time, and always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.